I'm going to be predicting every single fight on UFC 325, starting with Aaron Toe versus Batbayar. I can't remember his first name right now, but this fight is going to be a scrap. It's the finals of the Road to UFC flyweight division, and both of these guys are absolute killers. I watched Aaron Toe on the Contender Series last year, where he lost up at bantamweight. He got his first loss ever to Elijah Smith, who's the guy that got a slam KO this year in the UFC. Batbayar, just an absolute killer. I think both of his fights on the road to UFC were both first round finishes. He's really good. Aaron Toe's more of a scrapper. He's also really good though. He trains with Dan Hooker and like Keiichiro France and them, and you could really tell watching him fight. He has like the same style as Dan Hooker. But I think Batbayar is gonna win this fight. I think he's gonna catch him in a scrap, and he's gonna knock him out. I think he's gonna. I don't know. I think it's gonna be a scrappy first couple rounds, and then in the second or third round, he's gonna have him on the ground, maybe with some ground and pound elbows, and I think Aaron Toe might get knocked out cold, but like wake up, and then complain about the stoppage, thinking he didn't go out and stuff, and I think he's gonna complain about the stoppage even though he goes out cold. I think Batbayar is more technical, more powerful, and the better grappler. But again, Toe's just a scrapper. He's gonna try and make it a war. If it does go to that third round, I think he could get the win. I want him to win, but I think Batbayar is just another level. Moving on to the next fight, we got Sulangrangbo versus Lawrence Lui. I probably butchered that name, but these guys are both pretty similar. They're both long, rangy strikers, and I think Lawrence Lui is the better grappler. I think he's more powerful. If there is going to be a finish coming from this fight, I think it's probably going to come from him. But Sulangrangbo is really good. I think he's a lot more technical, and I think he's going to probably win a boring decision here, just outstriking him, leg kicks, jabs at range. I think he's going to be able to avoid the grappling, not get taken down too much, and yeah, I don't really know. I don't got too much to say about this. I hope Lawrence Lui wins the fight. That's 2 in a row where I'm picking against the guy that I want to win. But I don't know. I don't see. This is a close fight. I don't know. The road to UFC fights are all really hard to pick for me. But I'm going to be going against Lawrence Lui here, taking Sulangrangbo by decision. Now, this guy right here is the GOAT. We got Asian Conor McGregor taking on Szalay. Sebastian Szalay is his name. He's pretty good. He nuked some Yoon guy in 47 seconds. That is pretty worrying, but let's just ignore that for a second. Nakamura is way better. He's going to piece him up. He fights exactly like Conor McGregor does. Like, he has the same exact stance, same exact, everything. He is going to piece him up. He's super good. He just showed that he can go 3 rounds in a really hard fight, and he did a lot of damage to Kaiwen in that last fight. Yeah, I just think he's going to piece him up. I don't think Szalay's that good, even though he got a knockout in 47 seconds. He is pretty good, obviously. But I think Nakamura's a lot better. I think he's going to piece him up. He's going to be a lot faster. And I don't think Szalay is going to have anything for him. He's not going to be able to take him down. He's not going to be able to land a single shot. I'm backing Nakamura on this fight all the way. Yeah, I'm taking Nakamura by KO in round 2 or 3. Next up, this is the last road to UFC finals. I think this is lightweight. I think we're going up in weight divisions. So, yeah, we started at flyweight. This is the lightweight finale. And I actually I got Kim. I think. Yeah, I think he's going to submit Fan. Donmar Fan. He is a wrestler. He kept his last fight. He spent the whole time in his decision versus Park. He spent the whole time on the ground pretty much. And Park took his back a lot. He got him in a lot of submission attempts, which I guess it's good that Fan, like, it shows that he was able to get out of them and able to escape them. So that's a good sign. But I think if Kim gets him there, he's going to be able to submit him. He had really good submissions. He was a lot better at scrambling just by the looks of it than Park and Fan. He was a lot quicker. And I just think he's going to be a lot faster on the ground. And if they do go to the ground, I think he's going to latch up a submission pretty easily. I don't know when. I could see him getting a quick submission round 1. I could see it going late and him getting a third round submission. Sorry, after Fan gasses out. But I got Kim by submission, any round, doesn't matter. All right, the final early prelim of the night, we got Kaan Ofli taking on Yizha. I think that's how you pronounce it. This is a weird fight because Yizha's coming from Road to UFC, which usually fighters from Road to UFC aren't that great. Kaan Ofli's coming off of The Ultimate Fighter. Again, fighters from The Ultimate Fighter also aren't that great. So I don't really know who to take in this one. Ofli's coming off a submission against Ramos. That was pretty good. I did not pick him in that fight. I thought he was going to lose that. He got an easy submission. He looked great in that fight. Yizha looked amazing in his 37-second knockout against Wilson, but it was Weston Wilson. That's a really easy guy to knock out. So I don't want to take too much away from... I don't know how much to take away from that. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how Yizha's grappling is, so Kaan Ofli could just take him down and dominate him. But I think Yizha is going to knock him out in this fight. I think Kaan Ofli's chin is not that good. But I don't know. He's a good grappler, so he could just surprise me. He could just be a lot better at grappling than Yizha. I don't have no clue how good Yizha is at grappling. But I think Yizha's the better striker, and I think he's going to get a knockout in this fight. Round 2 or 3. Maybe even round 1. Actually, I don't know. But I think Yizha's going to win by KO. And Kaan Ofli is probably going to get cut, unfortunately. I love Kaan Ofli. I wanted him to win the Ultimate Fighter. He didn't. And since then, it just hasn't been too good for him. But, he's coming off a win. If he can put together a win streak tonight, or I guess this weekend, that would be really good for Ofli. I hope he wins, I guess. But I think Yizha's going to KO him. Next up, kicking off the regular prelims, we got Jonathan Mikhailov, taking on Oban Elliott. And I don't know, this is another fight. This whole card I'm not confident in at all, to be honest. But I'm going to be taking Mikhailov by decision, I think. Maybe a late knockout. I think I got decision. Oban Elliott's pretty good, but he had a lot of hype. And when you look back at his record, I don't really know why. He had a decision over Preston Parsons, which isn't that good. He had a decision over Val Woodburn, which isn't that good. He knocked out Basil Hafez, which is all right, but it's not anything crazy. So I don't really know why he had so much hype. But he is good. He is really good. His grappling is amazing. I think he's definitely got the better grappling in this, but I think Mikhailov is going to be able to defend the grappling, defend the takedowns pretty easily, and I think he's much better on the feet, much more powerful. I think he could get a knockout in this fight, but I think Oban Elliott's going to do good enough to survive to a decision. Mikhailov looked great in his debut. I don't know what else to say. I think he's going to win this by decision or a late knockout. Again, we get to a fight that I'm not too confident on. I really, really hate Torres Finney, with a passion. He's probably my least favorite fighter in UFC history. I just really don't like him. But I still think he's going to win a decision over Malkoun. He hasn't fought in almost 2 years now. And that TK over Petrosky was because Petrosky shot a takedown into his hip and knocked himself out cold. So, I don't know. Unless unless Torres Finney shoots into Malkoun's hip and knocks himself out, I don't think he's going to get knocked out. I think he'll be fine. I think he's going to be really boring. Just take him down, hold him against the fence. I kind of hope Malkoun is able to defend the takedowns and just beat him up on the feet. But I think Finney's actually pretty good on the feet. He just doesn't use it, like, ever. So hopefully in this matchup we'll be able to see Finney use his striking a bit more, and maybe he could actually get a knockout. But I think he's going to get a very boring decision win over Malkoun. And maybe even get cut after this, even if he wins. Like, I don't know. I don't think Dana's going to want to keep him. Dana already hates this guy. He's the only person that fought on the Contender Series 3 times and won all 3 times. And still, like, just didn't get signed until that third fight. So I think he's going to get cut if he doesn't get a finish pretty soon. Oh, we go back-to-back. 2 of my least favorite fighters in the UFC. Torres Finney. Now we got Cody Brundage. I also really hate this dude. Everyone complained about Bo Nickel being on the UFC 300 main card, but nobody complained about this guy being on the UFC 300 main card. Like, what the fuck? Come on now. And he sucks. He's terrible. He's not good at fighting. To be fair, his decision against McConaughey, that was a really close fight. He could have won. And it was a scrappy fight on the feet, so I actually don't know if Cam Roston will be able to knock him out. But McConaughey dropped him pretty early on in the fight, hit him hard, dropped him bad in round 1. It was like the first punch McConaughey landed, it just put him down. So I think if Cam Roston can come in and do that, he doesn't look like he's got too much power, but neither did Ty Miller last weekend. He got the bonus for getting a KO. He looked fantastic, so I think we could see a similar knockout here by Cam Roston, round 1 or 2. I'm picking Cam Roston. Not just because I hate Brundage, but I think Cam Roston's going to get an easy KO. And he also has a lot of submissions, so even if Brundage takes it to the ground, Cam Roston is pretty good on the ground, I'm pretty sure. I might be thinking of someone else, but I'm pretty sure he has a lot of submission wins also, and I think he'll be fine if it goes to the ground anyways. So I got Cam Roston by round 1 or 2 KO. This is one of the only picks I'm actually confident in on the card. And I got Billy Alicana by round 1 submission. The Toffas are terrible. I don't know what else to say. Junior Toffa went down a weight class thinking that would help him. He got submitted by someone that sucks. Now he's fighting someone that doesn't suck. And he's probably going to get submitted pretty easily. And that's that. There's no other breakdown to say about this fight. Junior Toffa's not going to do much in this fight. He's going to get taken down in round 1 and submitted. And there will not be a second round. Kicking off the main card, we got my most confident pick of the card. Quillan Salkeld is going to knock out Jamie Mullarkey in the very first round. Very easily. He just got a round 1 KO over Haqparast, and he was supposed to fight Rong Zhu, which I thought was a step down in competition. But Rong Zhu's still really good, And then Rong Zhu pulled out. And now he's fighting Jamie Mullarkey, which is a way bigger step down in competition. Jamie Mullarkey shouldn't be in the UFC. And I think he's going to get cut after this. I think he's going to get head kicked and cut. Maybe not 2 head kick KOs in a row, but I think he's going to get knocked out in the first round very easily. Quillan Salkeld probably going to get a bonus. And Mullarkey's probably going to get cut. I don't think Salkeld's going to get somebody ranked after this, though. A lot of people hyping him up. I'm fully behind the hype. I really like Salkeld. I think he's a very good fighter. I do not think we are ready for a ranked fight for him yet, though. We got a banger next with Tai Tuivasa making his big return against Taliesin Teixeira. Tuivasa actually looked pretty good in his last fight against Rosenstrike. I rewatched it. He looked pretty decent, but he did lose. It has been like a year and a half since he's fought. And Rosenstrike's not even in the UFC anymore. And he's on a 5-fight losing streak, and it's just not good. Teixeira, his first ever loss, I'm pretty sure, was a TKO against Derek Lewis, who has the most knockouts in the UFC. And he wasn't even out. He was fine. He just used the cage to like stand back up, which is obviously illegal. And that's why the fight got stopped. But I think Teixeira is going to win this fight by knockout in the early rounds. I think he's going to be too much for Tai. I think Tai's done. I think he's done for sure. He's either going to retire or get cut after this, no matter what. I don't think he has another UFC fight in his career after this, unfortunately. We all love Tai. We're all hoping for a big comeback. But I think Teixeira is going to knock him out in round 1. We've officially made it to the featured fight of the night, where we got Rafael Fiziev taking on Mauricio Rufy. And this is going to be a banger. I really don't know who's going to win. I'm fence-sitting the next 3 picks. I can't wait for this one. I think it's going to be a 6 scrap. I think Fiziev's got the better grappling. He's better if it gets like scrappy. He's better in the clinch, but Rufy, I think, is better at like range and like kickboxing and like a technical war. But Fiziev is going to make it scrappy, I think, and if there is any grappling, it's probably going to come from him. I don't know. I think I'm going to be taking Fiziev by decision, but I could see this fight going anyway. I really don't know who to pick. I'm super excited for this one. It's probably going to be... No, I was going to say it's going to be fight of the night, but Volk versus Lopez will probably be fight of the night. But this is going to be a banger. I can't wait to see this fight. I'm taking Fiziev by decision. I think Rufy shouldn't be in the rankings. You know, he got submitted by Benoit. I thought he should have been fighting out of the rankings after that, but they gave him a fight even higher up the rankings, which made no sense. So, I know styles make fights. He could stylistically still win this one, but I think Fiziev's better than Rufy, I guess. I think he's better than Benoit, too. I think he's a higher, like a tougher matchup. Or I guess not stylistically, because there's going to be a lot less grappling, but I think on the feet, Fiziev is going to be an issue. And I think he's going to not finish him. There's not going to... I don't know. If there's a finish in this fight, it's probably going to come from Rufy. Fiziev has been knocked out twice. But I don't know. I don't see him getting finished in this fight. I don't see him losing this fight. I think it's going to be a war. I think it's going to be a sick fight. And I think Fiziev is going to win by decision. Moving on to the co-main, we got probably my least confident pick of the entire card, which is just filled with not confident picks. So I don't even know if this is my least confident, to be honest, but I've been going back and forth since this fight's been announced. My original thought, here's how I think the fight's going to go. Here's how I see the fight. I think it's going to be just like the Gamrot fight was for Dan Hooker, but if Gamrot was a bit better at striking, or a lot better at striking, actually, and if that's how that fight went, like if Gamrot was better at striking, he would have beat Dan Hooker. A lot of people think he already did beat Dan Hooker. It was a close fight. If Gamrot had striking, he would have won. So Benoit, going in there, he's got the grappling, he's got the striking. Dan Hooker also just got beat up like 2 months ago. It's just not looking good for Hooker. I know he's scrappy. I think his leg kicks and his he could have good leg kicks. You know, Beneil Dariush got Benoit with some good leg kicks in their 16-second fight. So even though it was only 16 seconds, Beneil still had some highlights there. And I think Dan Hooker could use that to his advantage, but I don't think he's going to do good enough. I don't know. I don't see Dan Hooker getting a finish in this fight. And I think if there's going to be a finish, it's going to come from Benoit's side. And even in a scrappy war, which Dan Hooker thrives in, I think Benoit is also going to thrive in a fight like that. And I think it's going to be a sick war. I think there's going to be a sick fight. But I think Benoit's going to take the fight by decision or a late finish. And also, Aaron Toe just missed weight. I just seen that at the weigh-ins. He like did the DC fake thing where he like held onto the towel, and he weighed in at like 122, which was 3 pounds under. And then they got him to weigh again without the towel, and he weighed in at like 129, which was 4 pounds over, or I guess 3 pounds over. So Aaron Toe is probably getting cut for cheating, which sucks because I really like him. But him missing weight makes me more confident in my pick that Batbayar is going to beat him. So, yeah, with that being said, my Batbayar pick is more confident, and also I'm going to be picking not Beneil. I'm going to be picking Benoit to beat Dan Hooker by decision or a late finish. All right, we have made it to the main event, Volk vs Lopez 2. It's a sick fight. To be fair, nobody really wanted it. But it is a sick fight. It is the probably most entertaining fight we could have got out of any of them. Out of, like, Lerone Murphy or Evloev. Or thank God Yair didn't get a title shot. Honestly, I'm glad Lopez is getting a title shot over Yair. But still, Volk's literally coming off a win against Lopez. We don't need to see it again. And I'm a big fan of Lopez. But it's just, we don't need to see it. And especially if you rewatch that first fight, oh man, Volk beat him. Volk beat him bad. Like, Volk beat him really clear. And I think he's going to do it again. I think he's going to do it even easier this time. I don't think he's going to get a finish. It'll probably be another decision, but I think Volk could get a finish in this one, but I don't think he will. I don't see him getting a finish. But, I mean, he almost got a finish in the first round in their last fight, which is crazy. And then, Diego's got power. Diego could knock him out. I picked Diego in the first fight because, how do you fight him for 25 minutes and not get hurt? And Volk basically did that. He got dropped in the second round. He got hurt in the fourth round by some big shots. But other than that, Volk was literally perfect for 25 minutes. Excuse me. He's perfect for 25 minutes. And he's got to be perfect again for 25 minutes in this fight, which is worrying. But I think if there's one guy that can do it, it's Volk. And he's going to do it again. Now, this did happen with the Pereira fight versus Ankalaev. I picked Pereira, and then he lost. And then I switched to Ankalaev in the rematch, and then he lost. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen again, where I pick Lopez and he loses, so I switch to Volk and then he fucking loses. But I do think Volk still got it. I think he's going to win. And I hope he doesn't retire. I think he's saying he wants to still go. He wants to keep going. I think he wants to fight Evloev or Murphy and be like the first guy to beat them and like cement his legacy, and just like cement himself as the GOAT and prove himself as the GOAT. But they gave him Lopez twice in a row, which probably sucks for him. They were probably going to give Gene Silva a title shot if he would have beaten Lopez. That's probably why they gave Lopez the title shot. And he's also just more entertaining than Murphy and fucking Evloev, to be fair. But, hey, it's going to be a banger fight, whether you like the matchup or not. It's going to be a sick fight. The first fight was amazing. This one's going to be amazing. I went 8-3 last weekend. Pretty good on picks. Not too confident on my picks this weekend. It's a rough couple of fights, but it's an entertaining card. These top 3 fights are all going to be super scrappy. I know that. Yeah, these top 3 fights are going to be bangers. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Have a great one.